Okay, so another video on my trade paperbacks in hardcovers. Before I start, I'm just going to say that I decided to forego 3 books. I haven't read them yet. I don't know much about them. They're in the spy thriller espionage genre. You have Human Target by Peter Milligan, another Greg Rucka, Queen and Country, and The Originals, which is like a British Akira done by Dave Gibbons, co-creator of Watchmen. It's actually gotten a lot of good praise. I like the black and white interiors, the artwork, mod squads and biker gangs and all that. It's really cool, but I'm still reading this and I haven't touched these, so I felt kind of weird talking about books that I haven't read yet, but I mean, this is a video on the books I've gotten as well, so if anyone's read these, please let me know what you think and any other recommendations you might have. Alright, so back to what I do know about. Here's Elektra Assassin with a gorgeous cover by Bill Sienkiewicz. I love Bill Sienkiewicz's art. It's intense and it's surreal. It's crazy. I mean, the guy goes all out. Every time I see him in an interview, he just says how he walks into a studio and just regurgitates these ideas, like literally onto a canvas, and 2 hours later he looks and he's like, what the hell did I just do? But, I mean, it's very breathtaking, scary. I mean, I don't know, it's a plane of emotion, and considering that Elektra is a fractured, tormented character, it works really well with her. I mean, I'm a Frank Miller fan on his Daredevil and Batman stuff, more so than Sin City and Ronin and anything else he's done. And I'll eventually do a video actually on my Frank Miller stuff, but this was a new addition to that. So this is Elektra Assassin, which I recommend to people. I read the limited series a long time ago, and this is really good. Not easy to get, but if you can get it for a decent price, get it. This is from the Epic line from comics, from Marvel Comics, so the predecessor to the Max line, basically, or the Icon line. So it's that. Next, Spider-Girl by Tom DeFalco, Pat Olliffe, from the late 90s, early 2000s. The first 8 issues of the adventures of May Parker, who is the future daughter of Peter and Mary Jane Parker. Peter's hung up his tights. This is in the MC2 universe, so not in the Marvel Earth 616 universe. And apparently their daughter takes on the mantle of Spider-Girl. This is done by Pat Olliffe, who's done a lot of work on the Untold Tales of Spider-Man, retro type book on Peter Parker's early adventures. But this is a fun read because this was released at the time when I think the Clone Saga and all was happening. Peter Parker was getting a little more edgy, darker. He was losing his humor and all, but this is a fun read. It's an 8-issue arc, start to finish. There's no to be continued and all that, so this is fun on its own. Now, I have a few hardcovers I got that were discounted. I haven't ever started reading them, but I haven't fully finished, although they are interesting. Here I have the Fantastic Four by J. Michael Straczynski and Mike McKone. You know J. Michael Straczynski from his work on Rising Stars, which is an amazing book, by the way. Midnight Nation. He helped reinvigorate interest in Amazing Spider-Man, and obviously he's a creator of Babylon 5 with Mike McKone artwork. Mike McKone has done a lot of work on Teen Titans. The art in here is incredibly clean, incredibly rich, very simple. I like it. It's got a bit of a Brian Hitch feel to it, but I like it. It's really nice. It starts out with the Fantastic Four being audited, and we actually find out that Ben Grimm is actually entitled to a nice little fortune, and unfortunately that's where I'm at now, but $10, I couldn't say no. So, considering prestige format books can cost up to $6, I mean $10 for this, I said sure, why not? Similarly, I said $10 for this and $10 for this. Moon Knight Volume 2, Midnight Sun. A very, very intense artwork by David Finch. And also probably one of the bloodiest, most violent Marvel comics I've read or looked at. I'm not finished yet because I was actually a little turned off by the amount of violence in this book. Yeah, I don't know where to start, but actually you should check out Jet Silver Avenger, or Cole, on YouTube. He's a huge Moon Knight fan. He could probably explain this better than I can, but I mean, this was like 7 comics for $10. I'm looking to get Volume 1, which I have in comic format, just for the sake of having at least the David Finch run, if anything, because I think David Finch left the book halfway through. Yeah, but I mean, if anything, the art is gorgeous, although very intense and very violent. Death of the Stacys is a compilation of the death of Captain Stacy and Gwen Stacy. So obviously, gorgeous art by John Romita. Nice old school Spider-Man. There's Spider-Man fighting Doc Ock, which results in the tragic death of Captain Stacy. Turns out he's known that Parker was Spider-Man the whole time. Gwen Stacy holds a grudge. I love these clean, look at this clean art. Clean John Romita art. So yeah, she holds a grudge against Spider-Man for the death of Stacy. And she eventually dies. Obviously, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you know, at the hands of the Green Goblin, who himself becomes impaled by his own glider towards the end. Right there. Just passed it by. So there's the iconic death of Gwen Stacy and Spider-Man's vowing revenge on the Green Goblin. So I mean, as far as a reprint goes, some nice glossy pages and all, but again, for $10, honestly, I think the bulk of my collection are all discounted, but that's probably why I haven't read them all yet. I just buy them because they're on sale, and then I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. So anyway, Green Arrow, Black Canary, The Wedding Album. I love Judd Winnick's writing and Amanda Connor's art. I started reading this. It's fun. It's poppy, bubbly, and all that. I haven't finished it yet, but this was $2.99. This was one of those last-minute eBay deals where I just bid and no one bought it, and I got it combined shipping with some other stuff. But as a standalone book, I like it. I mean, for $3, I wouldn't say no. I don't know how I'd feel if I had to pay the full $22.99. Holy sh! Okay, yeah, $20. Not so sure if I pay 20, but 3, yeah. So if anyone's read this, let me know. I don't mind spoilers. I really don't care. All right. And last but not least, Batman: The Long Halloween and Ultimate Spider-Man. I have Ultimate Spider-Man, a bunch of issues, but this is the first 13 issues. If you have to buy one book, buy this one. This is the definitive Ultimate Spider-Man arc. It starts with him becoming Spider-Man all the way up to his revelation of his secret identity to Mary Jane. If I've just released a spoiler to anybody, I'm sorry, but this is a great book, very thick, enjoyable read again and again. So definitely, this was $20, really good book. I know they're relaunching Ultimate Spider-Man. I can't really say too much about the relaunch. I don't really know. I stopped following this book with the Ultimate Venom and stuff, but anyway, yeah, good book. And in my last 40 seconds, Batman: The Long Halloween, which was essentially the basis for The Dark Knight, just my Dark Knight Steelbook edition, which the wife got me for Christmas. I love you, thank you. Amazing Batman book, great detective book, probably one of the best Batman reads you'll ever have. Gorgeous Tim Sale artwork, written by Jeff Loeb, who's at the top of his game in this book. You can get this in an absolute edition, you get this in a trade paperback. This is the hardest version to find, it's out of print. I love it, but if you can find it, snag it. So thanks a lot for everything. I made it in under 10 minutes. Appreciate it. Take care. Bye.